we can just kind of. Oh, Dawson, I cut you off. Were you just about to go into it?
Yeah, but then I forgot the setup line, so that's fine. Okay, we'll get ready here, and then
will Kenny Omega fight? Sorry.
All right.
Whenever you want. Yep. I got all day, baby.
Here we go. And we are back. Will Kenny Omega finally win his first IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Dominion this Saturday, June? I had the whole thing flawlessly, and then I thought it was June 6th, but it's called 6.9.
Will Kyler betray Brittany at the power of veto? That's all I could think of.
That was a pretty good voice.
June 9th.
Yeah, June 9th.
June 9th. 69. It's the nice one.
Yeah, I was lolling at the fucking name.
It's the nice one.
Okay, we're closing in a minute. I'll start again. And we are back. Can Kenny Omega finally win his first IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Dominion this Saturday, June 9th?
It's a pretty nice intro.
Yeah, we'll keep working on it. I'm not sure how to sell it yet.
No, I'm sold.
Once we,
I'm in. My hooks are into me. I don't know about you, Brad, but I'm in now.
All in.
Well, okay. So on that horrific note, we will jump into the podcast here. It is June 7th, 2018. Thank you for tuning in to the NeverOver podcast number 2. This is episode 2. Episode 2, yes, has followed very quickly to episode 1 because we're still getting the wheels off the ground as we.
Well, listen, I'm a busy guy.
Yep.
Okay.
It's understandable.
I'm a busy guy. Life happens.
At the Kinks, all that it means is you're going to get a couple hours of content from us this week. So.
At the benefit of you, the listener, you're going to get 2 podcasts in a very short span of time, and I'll say it. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's from us.
Yeah, to you.
From us to
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Yeah. Gift wrapped via the internet to you, to your door, to your ears. Let it in.
So as our intro question suggests, this particular episode of the NeverOver podcast will be discussing mostly the Dominion New Japan Pro Wrestling's pay-per-view that is held on June 9th. We will be discussing it because, let's just face the facts. You know what happened this week on the WWE? The WWE? Almost nothing.
Mm-hmm. Very minimal.
Benjamin, you were speculating from last week that maybe the WWE would do something big to kind of pull attention away, and my word, they did the opposite. They did. You couldn't have had a pulseless week if you tried.
Really giving a lot of slack to New Japan.
Yeah.
Like, if there was a week they needed to deliver a quality on-air product, it was this week, because you have two future Hall of Famers participating in Card of the Year for arguably their biggest competitor right now. On television, in their industry, and so to me, like I said in podcast episode 1, I feel like they were going to need to either do a mid-card title change, maybe a shock return, something to kind of get some buzz.
Talking about anything that wasn't the indie scene.
Yeah, because now they kind of shadowed a wet fart leading into, like I said, you got a stacked New Japan card, and I will say, this is not a promotion that we covered in 1.0. It was something that really kind of organically came as we chipped away once we got introduced with Wrestle Kingdom 11. Okada Omega 1 was really, I think, our first foray into New Japan, and so now I would call myself an enthusiast of New Japan, and kind of what New Japan, their roster, obviously what Kenny, the Bucks, Cody, what the club is doing across the Ring of Honor has bled through to interest in Ring of Honor, so and therefore has led into more indie interest. Yeah, you could say. So I'm really excited to kind of bring this to NeverOver 2.0 is our a little bit more expansion on pro wrestling as a whole, more so than just straight WWE. So which is why I'm excited to talk about New Japan, especially with Dominion coming up this Saturday, which is, like I said, ridiculously stacked card.
Yeah, with the further your point, it's a natural progression that we've experienced where we're starting to turn kind of towards the indie scene to see what's going on, because the reality that the WWE does not realize is the world and entertainment has never had a moment in time where things are more accessible than now. and every passing moment, things become more accessible. It becomes a lot more easy to watch these overseas things. So for the WWE to stay stagnant and think that they're kind of controlling the floor, which they're still the big guys. The motions and the momentum being created in the indie scene is huge. They should be taken seriously, and the fact that we kind of reiterate again, I think for a third time now, that the WWE continues to be stale. Our natural progression to New Japan, for example, is kind of fair because it's like it starts off by hearing, wow, Dave Meltzer puts out a 5-star rating on a match. You go watch the match, and then you're like, yeah, this is probably the best wrestling match I've ever seen, given my age. And it snowballs from there. Then all of a sudden you're kind of loosely keeping tabs, and then Omega and Okada go at it again, and then you're watching more, and then you're consuming more. Then you're starting to follow the Bullet Club, and the Bucks have made the Bucks and Omega made the Bullet Club really cool, and some say Cody saved the indie scene or saved wrestling, and it just continually snowballs, and now we're at the point where and it's just a coincidence that Okada and Omega are wrestling again this weekend, but it's just you watch, I watched Wrestle Kingdom this year because it's to the point where you can't ignore it anymore, and it's we're moving from being casual fans to we're gonna be kind of on board with New Japan, and it should be a wake up call to the WWE. And if they don't wake up, then whatever, that's fine. We can keep watching what New Japan puts out because it's terrific.
Yeah, just this past week, like Ben said, we thought that the big dub was gonna do something kind of eye-catching, eyebrow-raising to make anything to make some noise, and they didn't. Nothing happened. Are they a week out or 2 weeks out?
Week and a half?
Week Sunday. Yeah, week and a half. Week Sunday.
Week and a half out from your next biggest pay-per-view out of your big four. And there's no momentum going into that.
Yeah, that's a great point.
It's and like I said, a total miscalculation. But it's not a miscalculation. It's a testament to their stubbornness and their closed-mindedness and their ignorance and their hubris, and assuming that they have everything they need in their four walls, and it's just it's a little bit extra sour because they have the most talented roster they've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it? Meltzer that said? Someone asked Meltzer last year. They're like, could a indie show sell out the 10,000?
Yeah, and that's exactly what prompted.
Yeah.
And someone said, and then Cody was like, challenge accepted. Give me a few months to promote it, and we'll do it. And then they sell out
just on the name of the Buck, just on the name of the club, and then Okada. You had Okada, you had Naito. No, is Naito confirmed all in? I think Naito's confirmed all. No, he's not.
No.
A few other indie stars as well, but on the club, on Bullet Club alone, sold out
the club name alone.
A 10,000 person arena in Chicago.
Well,
and that's one click in New Japan, and that should scare the hell out of you if you're the WWE, that they could, in a very short span, promote an indie self-promoted, self-funded pay-per-view or an event, whatever you'd like to call it, a card, and they're able to sell the place out. That should scare them.
Can I play devil's advocate for one minute?
Yeah.
I do believe that the event would have sold out eventually. I think the fact that Pro Wrestling Tees announced CM Punk at a signing the day before the event is what really's probably drove that to being sold out the day that the tickets were on sale.
Bad connection, Brad.
What was the timeline there? Did they...
The day before.
tickets went on sale, they announced Punk.
They announced Punk at the signing the day before the event.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I think it would have sold out eventually, probably within the first week. But I think the fact that CM Punk's name was announced, and I think that just goes to show the love that wrestling fans have for CM Punk. That there's no guarantee that he is going to be there, but the fact that he's at an event linked with All In the day before, I think got everybody really excited.
Yeah. Interesting. God, that's a good point. I hate it so much. 'Cause I like to think off the backs of Cody, Omega, the Bucks, Okada. That was enough.
Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that was enough to, slam it home.
I think like it's gonna be an interesting next, let's call it 5 years, because I remember being a kid. Like, it's interesting now because I think about the kids that are growing up now, and I remember being younger, and I remember wanting to know. Like, I remember wanting to be in on what the older kids were doing, and what the older kids are doing now is Bullet Club, and it's gonna be, you're gonna see New Japan, like you're gonna see Ring of Honor more. And what does the WWE do when all the young fans are immediately abandon the product for the cooler New Japan?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Because I was going to say, I was like, when they pan the crowd at most, like, events now, like, half the arena is filled with Bullet Club shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all those kids are going to be asking, Daddy, what's that shirt?
Yeah.
Like, why do I see that shirt everywhere?
If the youth movement starts to gravitate towards
what's cool,
Bullet Club.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah, and then so the WWE will just have to double down on being a kids show. Like, that's what, like, it'll either have to double down on being a kids show and totally alienate their key their original target demographic.
Well, their paying demographic.
Yeah.
Like, the WWE, I feel like they should be targeting the fans, everybody who's subscribed to the network, that 1.2 million people. I feel like they need to really solidify that fan base.
Yeah.
Like,
it's ridiculous that they don't cater more to the network subscribers.
Yeah.
Like, don't think of it as sure, the kid is gonna force mommy to buy that T-shirt, but at the end of the day, Wexler isn't punching in Daddy's credit card to get the award-winning WWE network for all of its incredible backlog of content, and NXT, because it's the only way you can watch NXT. So you got 1.9 million people watching NXT. And now Raw can barely hit 2.5.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, there it is, right there.
Well, something else I never understood was how like, you're trying to tell me kids are staying up till 11 Eastern to watch Monday Night Raw? I'm not buying it a whole lot.
No.
I don't get it.
And that's
Anyway,
what that's going to be their argument, is like, 2.5 isn't a true reflection of our outreach, of our true impressions.
I guess I could flip both ways.
Their biggest metric now is online
YouTube,
impressions grew. Online impressions grew to 2 billion, bigger than it's ever been, because followers keep going up and subscribers keep going up and video views keep going up, and video views are always going to go up, because if you upload a video today and then tomorrow that video is still there and a new video is there. So video views are always gonna. I don't know why they measure that as a true statistic, because it's just it's just you're compounding your views with every video you fucking put out to your 11 million subscribers, and all of them are dead. Like, no one cared. Like, like their measuring is so flawed. And broken and irrelevant.
They need to do what the music industry did when the whole streaming services became very popular, and they have to modify their kind of what they consider views.
Yeah, Nielsen changed it. Yeah, Nielsen reformatted to cater to the still evolving but ever-present streaming ecosystem that exists now.
Yeah, and I don't know. They're gonna for better or worse, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and it'll either one day bury them where people are just done.
Yeah.
I don't know, or they'll just keep being the mediocre show in town that is the only show in town.
On the plus side,
So-
we now have like that. This is the best part. This weekend coming up, we have New Japan's best card of the year. Like, we thought Wrestle Kingdom 13 was good with Okada, Naito, and Omega Jericho, and now here we are, here in June. We have another. We have a super strong alternative that's only getting bigger. Like, New Japan's never been. Well, I can't speak for the 80s and 90s, but New Japan has never been bigger than it has been right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It certainly has not been as accessible as it has been right now. So, I think we need to talk about the card a little bit. Let's talk about New Japan. Let's talk about Dominion.
Let's talk about Juice Robinson and David Fenton. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen. David Finley's going after. They're setting up David Finley to go after Jay White. To go for the U.S. belt, which we don't have to talk too much about. But I assume he gets the pinfall there. Which is one thing we can kind of do here is we can kind of talk.
Wow.
We can kind of talk.
I didn't even notice that the U.S. belt wasn't even up for grabs.
No.
No, that it's interesting. They're slow burning the U.S. belt, so I'm kind of. I think they wanted to put it on Kenny, and as a kind of like Kenny is very obviously the North American draw for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I think when they did that, they underestimated his true drawing power in Japan as well.
Yeah.
I think they didn't. I think they knew Kenny was a huge power for them, but then like even with the U.S. belt. I think they wanted to use it as a way to get Jay White over, which worked immediately, but has since tapered off, and was used as a great storytelling device in Omega's kind of individualized storyline that he's kind of going with, like with Coda, and everything that's going on there. But yeah, it's interesting now. I'm interested to see how they kind of bring prestige back to the U.S. belt.
Just a
Now that it's off Omega.
quick question.
Yeah.
Do you think that they'll ever do a U.S. champion who's not a gaijin? Like, do you think they would put it on, like, a local guy or, like, say, Zack Sabre or somebody? Or do you think it'll always be someone from the U.S.?
That's a great question, Brad, because, well, Jay White's Australian.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I understand what you're saying still. Someone who is not a non-local.
Yeah.
You could say. That is a really good question because he's fought now in feuds. Jay White fought Hangman, and he's in a feud now with David Finley, who's also foreign. So yeah, that's a very, 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 very interesting question, and could be ever present. New Japan's selling out a show in San Francisco at Cow Palace. It's 10,000 people as well.
Yeah.
So like he'll likely defend it there on U.S. soil, which is just great, and will bring more heat to the title.
Because I know they're way different than the WWE, but I just feel like maybe their U.S. championship might end up going the same way as WWE's UK championship, where I feel like they only want it on a guy from the UK, and they only have him challenge it. Like, I think they pull non-UK guys to challenge him once every 2 months just to remind people that, oh yeah, the belt is here and it can be won by anybody.
Yeah.
Well, I think, see, the WWE with the UK title, they handle that
Wrong.
not by design.
No.
They kind of just accidentally do that, where it was kind of, the European scene for wrestling was really starting to surge. They got very, very afraid of that, and then tried to smother it with a UK tournament, UK title.
Yeah.
And then they forgot the title existed.
And then they're doing it again too.
Yeah,
like they just signed up a whole bunch of new bodies too, because ITV was putting World of Sport back together again.
Yeah. So it's like it's kind of their ace in the hole to try and, I guess, keep a little bit of a grip on Europe. And like it's, I don't know, people forget. So, handle it however you want. Now, in New Japan's case with the U.S. title, I don't think it'll be as selective. I think it will be by design, and what I mean by that is New Japan just doesn't, when the titles get put up on the line, it's not as frequent or as apparent as like WWE that like slaps the titles all over the place. It's kind of with New Japan. I think their style is more like, okay, a month or two has passed. It's time for a title defense.
Yeah.
And like, if Juice Robinson gets a pin over Jay White in this tag match, he will probably supersede David Finlay in line for contention.
Yeah, they put weight and value in the stuff that you should put weight and value in when it comes to professional wrestling.
Yeah, not only wins and losses, but on a deeper level, who gets the pinfall. Because that's why you see so many tag team matches occur. Tag team matches help drive a story towards singles competitions that are not pre-booked. So, like, or not, like, it's not like, oh, you know these two are going to... Like, with David Finlay and Jay White, that David Finlay called him out a couple weeks ago, and then they've kind of been slow burning towards it, actually, since their last card. Which I forget. It wasn't Wrestle Kingdom, but there was one in between. Oh, the G1. They've been building towards David and Jay White. Or David came out at the U.S. show after the Hangman match. Yeah, so if Juice gets a pin in the tag match, or they measure that too, who gets the pin over who in tag matches, and then they'll build a story from there with those two. So it's always very interesting how that works. So yeah, I don't know. I think you'll see. I don't know. You'll either see. I don't know how that match goes. Probably Jay White needs to win. I don't know. You'll see. Fuck. That's what I love about New Japan. You just don't know who to win. The next match, however, though, is kind of stacked with on one side of it. I think the third match, which is Suzuki Gun, Minoru Suzuki, and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ishii and Yano.
Yeah.
God damn it. Zack Sabre Jr. is ridiculous. His match against Okada that he had last month was ridiculous. I like some of the most unique submission holds, because that's what he's been touted to do, right?
Yeah.
But to be able to put the holds he put in on Okada, just ridiculous. Mind-boggling. And then you have Minoru Suzuki, who's probably the scariest pro wrestler on the planet.
Yeah. he even looks terrifying.
Yeah,
like,
and he used to be a handsome young man too. There's some gifs and stuff of him, like when he had hair. Real looker. I think that match is pretty obvious where that match goes. Probably Suzuki Gun.
Yeah.
Not much has to be said. Pretty open and shut.
Be very weird swerve if it wasn't.
Yeah. Very odd. Not a lot of triple threat matches happen in New Japan, I've noticed. This is the first triple threat match I've seen yet so far in the year and a half or so I've been watching it.
Yeah, for the never
open weight
championship.
Yeah, which is kind of like
a never open weight championship.
Which is kind of like an affiliate, another Japanese promotion that is kind of under the New Japan banner.
Yeah.
Because there's the Never Open Weight Championship, and then there's the Never Open Weight Tag Team Championships as well.
Never is an acronym of the terms New Blood, Evolution, Valently, Eternal, and Radical.
Right.
It was a New Japan Pro Wrestling promoted series of events.
The more you know.
So Goto won the belt off Suzuki in a hair versus hair match back at Wrestle Kingdom, which was actually a really good match, really stiff, and I thought Suzuki was going to take it, and then Suzuki shaved his own head, which was really baller. Yeah, his stable tried to like rush him out of the ring after the loss, and Suzuki actually threw them all away and walked back to the ring, sat down in the middle of the ring, and shaved his own head.
Wow.
It was very, very cool.
Yeah.
So Goto won that match. It was a real underdog story for Goto too, and I don't know who wins that match. Part of me saying Taichi might win. Taichi's gimmick, he's like this really big rock opera singer, and he's got a female heater, and then Elgin's just this big American boy who I don't know, he's there.
Yeah.
But Goto will either retain or Taichi might get a dirty win.
Yeah. After that match, this is kind of where things really
gets
is where business
gets into big boy season. Yeah.
Big business starts picking up.
Yeah. Bucks versus Chaos, which is Evil and Sonata.
I think they're taking it, boys.
Yeah, like
You think Sonata and Evil are gonna beat the Bucks?
No, I think the Bucks are taking it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. No. Okay.
Bucks
First
are
try, you think?
I think so.
Bucks. Well, this is going to be their second ever heavyweight tag team match.
Because, yeah, their match with the Golden Lovers is technically a heavyweight
Yeah.
match, right?
It was
Right.
a heavyweight tag team match. And I feel like I don't know, they're the greatest, they're the 7-time junior heavyweight tag team champions.
Yeah.
7 times.
In the past, when guys have made the jump from like the IWGP Junior Heavyweight to
Yeah.
the heavyweight.
Yeah.
Well, I guess no. Okada has the belt locked up for so long. I guess it's tough. I'm just trying to think of guys in the past. I want to take a quick look.
Balor
here.
held it. Balor held the junior title. And then
Junior, yeah, but then he made a move up, didn't he?
yeah. I think
Styles.
Omega held it too.
Styles is who I'm thinking of.
Did Styles hold the junior?
No. I think he only ever held the Intercontinental and the heavyweight.
Yeah.
Okay. So then it was Kenny.
Kenny held the junior, yeah.
Yeah, and then he jumped up.
Kenny held it twice actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
AJ
he-
Styles did not hold it.
No, he did not. Okay. So interesting. So, and I cite or try to reference all of this because it's kind of like, well, can the Bucks then do it? It does not seem like, it doesn't seem to happen too often that, juniors move up to face heavyweights and then win belts. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. The second ever heavyweight tag team match, already 0-1. Do they write
Yeah.
it so that they're down 0-2? You know what I mean? Like,
And that's just it. Like, is it?
but then you could
How much-
then you could tell stories that way too, right? Like, oh,
It's like
maybe
how
they're
how
not
much
cut
creative?
out.
Yeah, how much creative control do the Bucks have in New Japan over their brand? Is
Yeah.
what I would also like to know. Like, do they have enough pull to control the sway of this match based on what's going on in the Elite, based on what's going on at All In? Like, I don't know. And then what do they do at All In? Like, we still don't know their role. We still don't.
Yeah.
Like, we still don't know what they're doing. If I could see them doing a singles match versus one another at All In.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I
Just
could
the
see that
only
too.
time you're ever going to be able to do it, and it's like, despite it already being a sellout, they don't really have to sell any more tickets. But I think that's kind of like their one-off solo or match against one another. I don't know, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know which way to call, because Evil and Sonata have beaten a lot of guys, and they've found a way, and they've held the belts now since Wrestle Kingdom, and they're both really good. Evil's a bigger guy. Sonata's agile, but he's a heavyweight. Like, he's tall, but he's got speed and he's agile. But then the Bucks are the Bucks. Like, incredible chemistry. Yeah, fuck, I don't know. Probably I don't know. It's gonna be a good match.
Yeah.
I don't know how to call it though. It makes sense either way. It makes sense for the Bucks if they lose. It makes sense if they win. It makes sense for Chaos if they win. But like, if they win, does Okada lose for sure? Like, if they lose and Okada loses, what does that mean for Chaos? Like, fuck. And then Osprey, because it's Osprey, Okada, Sonata, Evil, and then there's Bushi, and Bushi's not on the card for whatever reason, but it's like the Bucks win, Omega wins, and then Takahashi, who's part of Los Ingobernables, he wins.
He's
like,
not winning.
Takahashi's not winning, you don't think? I don't know, man.
No, not this soon. I think eventually, because that's like, well, I don't know. I can save that when we get to the junior heavyweight championship.
Yeah,
but
we'll save it for that. Anyway, yeah, I don't know how to call that tag team title match. I think we should move on from it. Dawson, you got anything to say on it left?
No, there's two. It's the wonderful and fascinating thing about New Japan Pro Wrestling, and we're gonna hit it more, I'm sure, as we go along. But it's just, you can book either way, and both ways make sense.
Yeah.
You can easily sell and swerve at a one way or the other, and it's just the brilliance of that is incredible, because it makes it so watchable and consumable, because you don't know which way it's gonna go, but you can logically think a path out for both sides, both like outcomes, and see ways out for everybody involved and how things can go from there. And that's the drawing power of New Japan just continues to make itself present with like situations like this. Anyway, we'll move on then, I guess, to the 6-man tag match with Bullet Club, Cody, Hangman Page, Marty Scurll, and then you got Liger, Mysterio Jr., and Tanahashi.
Which is holy hell.
Wow.
Holy, you have so if you're unfamiliar with exactly how prestigious Liger is, Liger was in WCW, big name, and he was arguably the top junior heavyweight in WCW. And one thing that I didn't know until this podcast was he's held the junior heavyweight title 11 times. He's defended it 31 times, but his combined reign as IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion is 2,245 days.
Wow.
So the guy's held it for seven years combined, roughly.
Geez, I thought Finn with a combined almost 800 days was impressive.
Yeah, he's got actually Finn has 1,010.
Oh, is it 1,010?
Yeah. Liger has held it for has held it for 6 years, 1 month, 3 weeks, 3 days. So over 6 years as the junior heavyweight champion.
Say again, how many days?
2,245.
Wow. That puts him ahead of. I was curious. I went and looked it up. That would put him ahead of Bob Backlund.
Wow.
When it comes to days held the WWE Championship, Bob Backlund 2135.
Jesus.
Bruno Sammartino.
Sammartino.
He had 2,800. Obviously, nobody's gonna really come close to that ever again.
No.
So that kind of paints a picture of exactly what type of legend Liger is. Obviously, one of the most recognizable masks in pro wrestling history.
Yeah.
And then, what needs to be said about Rey Mysterio?
Yeah. Sorry, Bruno combined days was over 4,000.
It's like 5,000.
4,000.
Yeah.
But that would still put Liger ahead of Hulk Hogan and Bob Backlund.
Over Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, 2185 for Hulk Hogan and Bob Backlund.
Wow.
38.
Jesus.
Funny enough, fourth on this list is Big Match John. Okay, go ahead.
It's got to be John. Speaking of Big Match John or Big Match Ace.
Okay, no,
Hiroshi
sorry.
Tanahashi.
I gotta cut back in here because 16th on this list.
CM Punk.
No, he's 12th.
Brock Lesnar.
He's 9th.
Oh, really?
16th.
The Miz.
Where is the Miz? No, Miz is 26th.
Okay,
you're
16th
you're starting to fall down the list actually quite a bit when you say the. Okay, we're spinning off here, but I can't help it anymore. This list is fascinating as hell.
Okay,
so 16. 16 is AJ Styles. More than Kurt Angle, the Ultimate Warrior, JBL, The Undertaker. Not more than Stone Cold. No, Stone Cold is 10th. But this is where things get weird in the list. So starting at 22nd, The Undertaker, Seth Rollins, Sheamus, Jinder Mahal, The Miz, Edge. Edge had 4 reigns, only 139 days combined.
The WWE's a mess.
Eddie Guerrero, and then Roman Reigns.
Jesus.
WWE title. Remember, WWE title. There's only 49 champions.
Yeah. Jinder was supposed to be the 50th.
There's 2. Yeah, okay. There's 2 at 20. 2 at 43.
Okay, 51st.
2 at 49.
Before we talk about this match, before we get back into this match, I'm just gonna tinkle real quick.
Okay.
So, talk amongst yourselves. Don't pause any recordings or anything. Just chat amongst yourselves.
Pedro Morales. Yeah, what a weird list.
Yeah.
Sammartino, Hogan, Backlund, Cena, Morales, Orton, Bret Hart, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, Stone Cold. That makes up top 10.
That's That's a decent like top 10.
That's a top 10 list you could probably guess. That's a top 10 list that you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Randy Savage, so at 11, Punk at 12, Michaels at 13, The Rock at 14, Diesel at 15,
Diesel.
and AJ Styles at 16. That's wild. What were we talking about? Liger. We'll probably have to re-talk about this match.
Yeah.
Restart.
Yeah, it's the Mysterio, Liger, Tanahashi versus Cody, Marty, and Hangman.
Yeah. Ospreay, Takahashi. How old's Takahashi? Oh wow, 28. Holy cow.
Takahashi's their like ace, right?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm in over my head with some of these guys.
Yeah, me too.
It's like I roughly know who Liger is. Tanahashi's hit and missed.
Oh, I'm thinking of Tanahashi. Tanahashi's their ace.
Yeah, Tanahashi is the ace.
Okay, that's what I thought. So what's... Oh, yeah, Tanahashi.
Takahashi. No, I don't know.
Takahashi won the Best of Super Juniors.
Right.
Yeah. NATO, Jericho, kind of Omega. Okay. So we were setting up that match. How do we want to jump back into this then? We might as well just start with something like the amount of prestige.
Yeah,
and then we can go from there.
Yeah, 3 legends versus the hottest stable in pro wrestling. You have the former ace of New Japan, Tanahashi, arguably the current ace, or forever ace. And then he's obviously stacking up against Cody, which I think sets up an interesting matchup there. And then you have Paige and Skrull. And yeah, it's just, this is such a fascinating match. You have so much talent. The storyline being like Skrull ripped off Mysterio's mask back in San Francisco, or back in California.
Yep.
Long Beach, and Liger was supposed to wrestle Rey Mysterio. I think Liger had Mysterio had an injury.
Yeah, that was at Wrestle Kingdom, was it not?
No, that I think that was Long Beach.
Oh right,
it was supposed to be at Long Beach. And then so this is really an interesting match. I think it's a big opportunity for Cody to be back in the ring with Mysterio, to be in the ring with Liger, and then especially to be in the ring with Tanahashi.
Yeah. They have a lot of ways they can go with this. Cody's stock is set to continue to rise.
Yeah. It's it'll be interesting to see how they mix all of the wrestling styles here.
Yes, I agree. That's when I was looking at this. I was like, man, there's a lot going on in this match here, style-wise.
Because, I mean, I don't know too much about Liger or Tanahashi, but I would assume Liger, for as long of a reign as a junior heavyweight that he was, he can do the high-flying stuff like Ray.
Still, yeah, because he actually wrestled at an NXT TakeOver.
Oh, did he?
Against Tyler Breeze.
Okay.
Yeah. And I saw a match. He was either in the Wrestle Kingdom Rumble or he was in something lately that I saw him, and he was hitting Ranas like it was walking the dog. Like, the guy for his age, he's 47. Is he 47? I forget.
No, he's a lot older than that. I think I just looked this up. I think he's 50.
Yeah, I think he's in his
53.
The guy is agile and fluid, and I regret never seeing him in his prime because he's water. Yeah, and it's remarkable.
Do you think they'd ever do like a handing down of the mask?
What's that?
Do you think they'd ever do a handing down of the mask?
I think Mysterio's too old.
Well, no, but like for Liger though, do you think is that a thing over in Japan? Do they pass the mask down?
Pass it down maybe to someone else.
Yeah,
maybe. It's good. It's an interesting idea.
Because I know there's like a Tiger Mask 4, right, over in Japan.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
there could be something like that. You'd like to think he would christen the next him.
Yeah,
in pro wrestling lore, he would pass on his heir to someone else, so to speak. So you think that may happen someday, but the guy's 53 and can still go. So maybe 54 in November. Maybe
he's older than Undertaker.
Yeah.
like, which is buck wild.
Yeah.
I don't know who wins this match, boys.
I don't either. The storylines and stuff, and it's just like Bullet Club is so hot, like they're white hot. They can eat losses, so like.
Yeah, but I think with
six-man tag.
Cody being in this match, I think he gets the dirty pin.
Dirty pin makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Or some kind of confrontation to set up something. I like the Tanahashi Cody angle spin out.
Yeah, I would love to see them feud.
Yeah.
A little bit. Maybe that be the match at All In. Like if they can get Tanahashi for All In, oh my word! Like, like that's a big match. That's a big match for Cody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how that match goes, which is great.
Yep.
Fuck it. Brad, you got anything you wanna close out with?
Nope, I'm good.
Yeah, that's again probably for about the third or fourth time. Or like, yep, case can be made for both sides. I don't know who wins.
And either way you go, I can be totally fine with either way. Like it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Singles competitions lead the rest of the card with 6 of the world's best rounding out the top of this amazing show. The IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match. Will Ospreay, who you didn't think he could be any hotter, but he is. He's on fire. And then you have Takahashi, who has always been right there, simmering. Just one of the best of the Super Juniors. He wasn't my pick. I actually had Kushida was going to be my pick, but Hiromu Takahashi is a really interesting, dangerous star. I remember watching his Wrestle Kingdom matches against Kushida, and he just is dangerous, and he's ruthless. And, oh, man.
Ospreay could sell ice to an Eskimo, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Match made in heaven in that regard.
Yeah, I'm incredibly excited. Like, if there's a strong style junior heavyweight, it's Takahashi. Yeah. Just he's so hard hitting and so dangerous, and then Ospreay is so acrobatic and nimble and agile that he can avoid. So it's rock paper scissors in this match.
I think Ospreay is gonna win it.
Yeah, you know what? I think he does too. It comes back to the whole.
I think he's going to carry it for a little while longer.
That, like as long as Okada and Ospreay are in New Japan will be fine. Yeah, I kind of lean towards Ospreay as well. This match for me, I think, is kind of the dark horse match on the card, and I know that's kind of like, how could you make a match like that your dark horse match? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think. Yeah,
you looking forward to this one, Doc?
Yeah, I think it could steal the show. I think it could steal the whole card, and again, it's just like, well, like look at who's involved. That's of course it could steal the show, but it's like, yeah, but look at the rest of the card. Like, that's the thing. That one,
Takahashi is such a underrated, charismatic character.
Yeah, has a lot of. He carries himself with a lot of charisma and swag.
Yeah, a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great match. Like, especially just with Takahashi's style and Ospreay's ability to just give you everything, every match.
And sell. Like you said, he could sell like you can't believe. Yeah. So he'll look dead on the mat and he'll kick out 2.5.
Yeah, it'll be brilliant. And it's like you said, we're in the last 3 matches here that are just. Each one of them has their own certain like element and style to it, where you're just like, yeah, this could be one of the. At the end of the year, we could be discussing some of these as like matches of the year.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is like Ospreay's been telling the story. We've heard the story over and over again about his shoulder, his neck, and I think this is where he meets his match. You have Takahashi, who's stock hasn't been higher. He's just won he won the 25th anniversary, the best of Super Juniors. Like, he's hot. Will Ospreay maybe needs a break. Like, so he's got that because he whether it's real or not, he's been selling this neck shoulder injury with tape for the last ever since Strong Style evolved in Long Beach. The Oscars was dirty, but he was against Skrull. Skrull hit a moonsault Uranagi on the apron. Yeah. And the Ospreay ate that weird.
He didn't get rounded all the way around to his shoulders. He landed on the back of his head.
Yeah, so He's been telling the story since then, every show he's done. So I think this is kind of where that all comes to a fruition, and I think Takahashi's special is I think the time bomb is neck. Time bomb, Takahashi finisher. I think his finisher is neck sensitive. It looks like a fireman's carry. Let me check it here.
Fireman's carry swung into a high angle over the shoulder, back to belly pile driver.
Yeah. Here it is here. This is him hitting it on Kushida. It starts at no, I don't think that's it.
It's a neck related finisher if it's a pile driver involved.
Yeah, it's a spin it. It's a spin out, almost like a muscle buster on the side. It's dirty. He hits the last one he hits on Kushida is yucky. He just drops him right on the side of his head. He has one leg in a pinning, and drops him right on the back of his neck head. And I think if Takahashi can hit that, Ospreay's done.
Yeah, I think so too.
So my pick there is Takahashi. Say what you want about Ospreay. Ospreay's an incredible talent, but I think Takahashi's stock is just too high. And I think they need to
keep pushing it higher.
But then, yeah, I think if they just got to keep going with it.
Yep.
Because I know Ospreay has said that he wants to move up to the heavyweight division.
Jesus. Oh my God. I'm
trying
to think about him as a heavyweight. Yeah,
he could do it. Why not? Like
he put on 20 extra pounds. Like,
no,
he has been putting on weight.
Has done it. Prince.
Like he'd look. No, that's what I'm saying. Is he'd look amazing because the Bucks look amazing.
Yeah.
At their current weight, they're walking around at heavyweights and they look fantastic.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but New Japan's heavyweight division is a little bit lighter than what WWE's would be, would it not?
The WWE is lying, and their cruiserweights aren't 205 pounds.
Okay.
That's my belief. Like I think they doll up their 205. Like I think the Buddy Murphy stuff is a work.
Some of them have to be under 205 pounds.
Yeah, some of them for sure. But I look at Buddy Murphy, then I look at Seth Rollins, and I'm like, Seth Rollins is 220, and you're gonna tell me that Buddy Murphy isn't 235?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the WWE's weights are loose to say the least. They play to whatever cusp they want to play to, for better or worse. Let me put it to you like this. When John Jones has to weigh in, he has to weigh 205 pounds. Yeah. No,
he's 6.
Yeah.
It's like he's 6 feet. He's 6'3".
Yeah. Well, you look at a guy like Finn Balor, and it's like, well, he could be on 205 Live. There's no way he's over 205 pounds. Yeah. So they play whatever rules they want. I think to some extent New Japan does the same. I think they're not too concerned with those weight restrictions. So maybe more on the junior side, because you can't sell a big guy down, but you can. People don't care when you try to sell a little guy up, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Will Ospreay moving up, that would be quite interesting, to say the very least.
Just doing a quick search here for Finn. His build weight is 190 pounds.
They bill him at 190.
Yeah. That's what Wikipedia says, though. So don't trust that.
Oh, you can now. It's been like 10 years. It's fine.
Wikipedia is fine.
Up next, how do you think Chris Jericho's feeling right now with his life?
I think Chris Jericho just loves everything about life right now. I think if you were to interview him, if we were to bring Chris Jericho onto the NeverOver podcast and interview him and ask him how he thinks his wrestling life is going in the past 365 days, he very well may say this has been his best wrestling year to date.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
Dude, he is going everywhere. He's doing anything. People, and this is the crazy part about it, that I think a lot of people will keep forgetting. The Cruise of Jericho is in the fall.
Yeah.
Like, after All In, then those boys are going to be on the cruise in the Caribbean and slamming back rum and cokes and having wrestling matches and, shooting the shit with some couple thousand fans.
Yeah. Not only that, but Like they just signed Impact too. So like his Jericho stock's at an all-time high. Like Impact is going to be there at on the Jericho cruise.
Yeah.
So
He's got so much going on. He comes in and out at the WWE when he pleases now. He flirts with New Japan. Like, he is just... The guy is continuing to transcend levels that only he could transcend in pro wrestling.
Yeah. It's a wonder he hasn't made more of a leap to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Maybe it was never for him. Maybe he was never as charismatic as Chris Jericho is, because the guy has an endless wealth of charisma. Maybe it's just never for him. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I feel like Jericho is a really good improv guy. Like, I don't think he's very good with a script. Like, if he
Jericho?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, like if he has to read lines off a script, I think that probably waters
naturally
him
charismatic.
Down. Yeah.
I'd agree with that, because I mean, I remember I even watched his Hot Ones interview, and he's just so he's just got such a great character about him. Like, he knows how to handle it well. So I would agree with that. That's a great call out. He's going up against arguably the most popular New Japan I would say currently second most popular pro wrestler for New Japan, who is Tetsuya Naito. I would say Kenny's probably number one. Naito is
probably number two.
Naito is more popular than Okada. I don't think that's a question at this point. And Naito is the Intercontinental Champion. I saw a very interesting thread on Twitter that said when Naito held the Intercontinental, he got the Intercontinental title over, and he shared a great relationship with his last IC title reign, because his thing was he disrespected the title. Like, he threw it around, smashed it, broke it. They had to replace it.
Tried to use it to buy food.
Yeah, like, he beat the shit out of it. He like, his thing was he'd throw it up in the air and just let it drop. He smashed it off the ring steps.
Wow.
At one point, and snapped a part of one of the side plates right off the belt. And that was his thing before. His whole thing was he disrespected the title, and that helped get him over. And so his relationship with the belt helped get him over, and it helped get the IC title over, because then when it finally changed hands, it was big that somebody else finally got it. It was such an interesting and brilliant foresight move. And so he then went on to face Okada after he dropped the belt and won the G1, only to lose to Okada and then beat Suzuki for the Intercontinental title belt after Suzuki took it off of Tanahashi easily. Made Tanahashi broke his leg, kayfabe broke his leg, forced the ref stoppage in the match because he had him in a knee bar for 10 minutes. It was gross. One of the grossest pro wrestling things I've seen. And so then Naito goes ahead and beats Suzuki, and now you see he respects the belt much more by just not wearing it. He just doesn't wear it. That's his thing. He just the camera will zoom in on his waist, and he's not wearing the belt. So it's pretty good. Now he faces Chris Jericho. Jericho is setting up the feud the night after Wrestle Kingdom at New Japan Dash, I believe it was.
New Year's Dash, yeah.
New Year's Dash, thank you, Brad. Which is a brilliant idea for a show. 2 nights of wrestling after Wrestle Kingdom where the card isn't announced until the day of. Just a fantastic idea. And then Jericho coming out and assaulting Naito, and then going on radio interviews saying that they tried to get something done, and then he's like, it's not going to pan out, and then to show up in Osaka and assault Naito to set this match up, I think it was brilliant and exciting, and Chris Jericho just keeps killing it, and I'm excited for this match, and I don't know who wins this one either. Yeah, I just don't know.
This one to me feels more natural that Naito wins.
Yeah.
You think Naito?
In some fashion, Naito's leaving with the title. I don't know how, but he will be keeping the title. I can't see a world where Chris Jericho wins an actual title in New Japan, because that comes with a whole new set of responsibilities and restrictions
that I don't think he's ready for.
I don't think Jericho's for that life anymore. Like,
No.
if he wins, then wow, like I'll be floored and it'll be super fascinating to watch going forward. Maybe that's where they want to go, but it's tough to buy into the Jericho winning the IC title.
Yeah, I think he's just having fun at this point. Like I think he's in the hot wrestling product right now.
Yep.
And
swan song in it, kind of, and just.
Yep.
Yeah. Hopping around.
Once he's done that, he'll probably go back to Vince and be like, "Look, I want one more run. You're putting a strap on me," and then he'll ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Undisputed champion, first Universal and WWE champion at the same time.
I think
where it began is where it'll end.
It's a huge enough rub. Like him coming in to face Naito, I think is great. Draws a huge he wants to wrestle Naito, which is just like it's so nuts. Like and Naito's cut great promos in retaliation to Jericho's because Jericho's out there calling him a fuckface.
Yeah.
Like, you're like this. He's like you're like this turtle, and then slaps the turtle. He's like you're just nothing but a dumb idiot, slow fuckface idiot.
Yeah.
And slaps this turtle around, and then Naito's like, I've heard of Chris Jericho because he was in Japan in the 90s and couldn't really cut it as a junior heavyweight, but since then he lost to Omega, and I don't really know what he's been up to, but now he wants to fight me, and I don't really think it's going to be fair. And it's like just so brilliant, just brushes over the whole WWE, like doesn't even allude to WWE.
Yeah.
In a really cheeky, ignorant Naito way.
Yeah.
While Jericho's being like this huge heater, like fuck face, and like calling him all this, and then Naito's like, chill as a cucumber, which is this whole thing, Tranquillo. And it's just, oh man, like Naito has that storytelling ability that where like Okada's like, yes, I am the greatest IWGP heavyweight champion of all time, and then Naito's like, man, like I'm chill as a where Okada it's objective. Naito can tell a story because he's so calm and leads the hottest stable in New Japan. So it's oh man, what a great matchup. I don't know how it goes. Like you'd think Naito's gonna win.
Again, keep saying it.
Jericho's off at All In. I think maybe Naito gets his rematch on American soil.
Maybe. Again, this isn't a playback loop. It's just you can make a case either way. It's so easy to sell both ways, and again, that's why this New Japan is so brilliantly entertaining. Is you don't know which way it's gonna go, and I'm honestly it's gonna be a great match. I'm now a little bit curious to know where it shows up on the card. Like if it is the second,
it's this order. It's this order.
If this okay. So this right now has this as the right before the main event.
Yeah.
You know.
Where does the crowd cool off? They don't.
They don't. They don't have to though. The way they pace these matches and they tell them out, you don't have to cool them off. You cool them off in the start of the matches, and people get cooled off, and then they build.
Yeah, it's not about because that's the problem with WWE shows is they look at the whole show as an ebb and flow, an Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 of the pay-per-view, or they book it out that way. Whereas every match is self-contained in New Japan, and has Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 within the match, and so then you feel resolute at the end of the match.
Yeah, because WWE tries to play towards a timeline of the pay-per-view, and so they have to look at the pay-per-view as a whole because they got a fixed time there, whereas New Japan has fixed times within the matches, so that when you just bundle it all up together, it's like, okay, 30-minute time limit, 30, hour. It's like, okay, that's how long the pay-per-view is. Boom. So then the guys within the matches have the time and the leeway to tell the ebbs and flows of the match. So, Which, speaking of time limits, I think it's a good way to segue straight into the no time limit 2 out of 3 falls match between Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada? No?
Kazuchika. Kazuchika Okada.
Yeah, Okada versus Omega. I can say Okada, so I'm going to triple down on Okada. Okada versus Omega in their 4th meeting. I think it's their 4th, where they are 1-1-1.
Yeah.
Say what you want about any other match this year. Say what you want about Styles Nakamura. Say what you want about trying to think of any other relevant WWE match that hasn't happened. Miz Bryan. There is not a match in the pro wrestling ecosystem right now that has so much pressure, and this is a match that I don't think there's been a match in the last 10 years that it has so much expectation, has so much riding on it, than this match right here.
Yeah.
Like, very seldom do we see a match marketed as the fourth time. Like, you got Cena Orton Cena and Orton happened a dozen times on pay-per-view. And you got Triple H and Shawn Michaels a dozen times. You got Rock Stone Cold 3 times at WrestleMania alone.
Yeah.
Like, they are marketing this as Okada Omega 4 because this is
number 4.
The number 4.
And the crazy thing, like, I was thinking about this the other day, like, the quality and the like, is this? It's becoming a meme upon itself, where it's like,
how can you get bigger?
Yeah,
like, how do you get bigger than 5 stars? You do 6 stars.
How do you do bigger than 6 stars? Well, we'll say 6 1/4. So what's this one gonna be?
Because it was better somehow.
Yeah, it was better. So then it's like,
and then their third match was still a 6-star match. Like, he's still and so here we are. Like, oh, you think 2 out of 3 falls is gonna hold them back? It's only gonna add more storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, no time limit. It's gonna, like, if it runs an hour 10, like, it's
that's the crazy thing, is the two of them can probably go for an hour and 10
because they
minutes.
have. Yeah, because they've got an hour.
Yeah.
Like, Kenny looks like he's in the best shape of his life, which is ridiculous because I say that every year.
Yep.
And because he's like it shows him working out and being in the elite, and he looks tremendous.
Yeah.
And Okada is Okada. Like, the guy is money. Like, the guy is his gimmick.
Yeah, he was born to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah, he's the modern Ric Flair. Like, and he's Japanese. Like,
yep.
It's like saying Superman is real and he's American, which is a Watchmen line, but, like, he is the epitome of pro wrestling. Okada is, like, everyone says everything about Omega. Okada has wrestled more and still has 5-star, 4.5-star matches. Like, because he can fucking work, and I'll say it, he's got the best dropkick in the business right now.
I don't care. We could ramble on for another hour or two about these 2 particular guys. I think, to summarize, to not ramble on about the excellence and the greatness of these 2 guys, this may very well be the best match of the year.
Of the year.
Well, you're calling it.
Maybe
I'm thinking
of the decade.
The decade.
Yeah, this could very well be one of those matches you remember forever. And I think, now this is where I want to take this, I think as time goes on, this match will become bigger and bigger, because this match, to me, has so much spinning out of it. Like, the outcome of this match, to me, could very well be the determining factor of whether or not Kenny Omega is in the WWE within the next 2 years.
Yeah.
And I think it is this match, this moment, this Saturday. We could very well potentially see the start of the timeline where Kenny Omega lands at, as a fan, we all hope it'd be like the Rumble.
Yep.
And I think this is the timeline.
Scheduling wise, it would work, but
yep. It just, we've talked about it outside of the podcast, where we see a reality where Kenny finally grabs the brass ring, takes the title, becomes the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, kind of rides, off for the next, 6 months or so, and you kind of segue / lead into Omega versus Ibushi. And
at Wrestle Kingdom.
At Wrestle Kingdom, Kenny drops the title to Ibushi, and then
Ibushi's then the made man of New Japan.
Yep.
Like the guy of New Japan.
It becomes the guy. It's easy then to write stories and feuds. You can go 100 different ways. And then, a few weeks later, Kenny Omega shows up at the Rumble.
The last 2 Gaijin to hold the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. are AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar. Like, there's been, like, its ability to make a man everywhere. Like, Kenny's done it himself, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Brad, what are you thinking?
It's gonna be a feat to watch. Like, I don't know what to say about it. It's just, I think you guys are right. Match of the decade, the one that everybody is going to be talking about. Like, I think it's gonna be on the level of, like, I don't know if it was the first Hell in the Cell or the second, but whichever one Mankind came flying off the top of the cell.
That was the second Hell in the Cell.
It's gonna be on that level where it's gonna be something that's played in every package going forward. Yeah. Like, when you're talking about professional wrestling, like, this will be that match that's always in there.
Yep. When you recall the greatest matches, like, of all time, this will be one of them. This has the potential to be one of them.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Tell who wins this. We've been hemming and hawing about the rest. I think on this one we should just, for better or for worse, gut feelings, just call out, or who we want to see win, just name Okada versus Omega. Who picks up the W?
I think it's time to give it to Kenny.
I think it's Okada.
Like,
I'm with Brad. The dirty, filthy fan in me wants to just be like, it's time, Kenny Omega, it's time.
Well, not even so much that. Like, the way we were talking about Ospreay, right? Like, he's hurt. He could probably use some time off. Like, I feel like Okada could probably use some time off.
Right.
Like he's more than earned it, because he's been champion for, 500 and some odd days now?
540. He also has...
I've started down this road.
He also has the second most title defenses behind Tanahashi, and the guy's only held the belt 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but I think it goes right into that booking that Dawson just did, that great fantasy booking where...
It's the fantasy bookings.
I did it. I said that.
No, I said it.
No, I did it.
I fantasy booked this.
You took my... I told you that booking.
No, I
dance, puppets, dance.
You fool. Forget Brad's
Since we started discussing the idea of going to WrestleMania in 2019, I've been joking that the main event will be AJ Styles versus Kenny Omega.
And then I did the New Japan side of things.
You did. Yes, you did the Ibushi stuff.
Yeah.
Yes,
Where that's how it's told. He wins the belt.
Yes.
Ibushi wins the G1 by beating Okada in the last match.
Yeah, and then Kenny drops the belt. You did. Yeah, I'll give you the New Japan side, but I've been booking the WWE side.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's firm handshakes all around. It was a 50-50 job.
Firm handshakes.
How did that turn out for you, Brad? Not how you thought.
No. You guys made peace at the end of it.
Yeah. Quote unquote. Guy calls himself the champ. Can't even fucking write a storyline. I think that.
You want to get into some fantasy booking, do you? You pick the topic and next episode. I'll book you into a hole.
I think Ibushi beats Omega and Okada at the G1 next year, and that's how he gets the briefcase.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you do it for the belt. Then that's how you do it for the belt of Mania, or not Mania, Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom, yeah.
And then Kenny drops it, and Kenny shows up number 30 in the Rumble.
Yeah.
No,
there we go.
Not 30.
Throws
27.
Yeah.
Oh no, 30.
Got to be 30.
Yeah, you drop him last.
But does that mean he wins it though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have him win it and have him face AJ.
Yeah, have that ring full of 20 guys and have them eliminate every single one of them.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns first.
Could you imagine if they said to Kenny Omega, you got to go to NXT first?
No way. If they sent
you don't.
If they sent him to an NXT first, they'd bury their main roster.
Yeah.
They'd bury the main roster, and you're gonna have the hottest guy at the time because he was the champion 3 weeks prior at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Put on a match of the year candidate
Yeah.
probably with Ibushi, and then to go 3 weeks later and show up at the Rumble unannounced,
Yeah.
to lose in the Rumble and then go to NXT. Like,
Yeah.
nah, I don't think so,
Yeah.
Brad.
He shows up at the Rumble at 30. He comes in and then cleans.
Throws out Roman Reigns first immediately.
He
First thing he does.
cleans the place out. Boom.
Oh yeah, that's how you make a man, is you throw out Roman Reigns right
Yeah.
away.
Nah, I love talking about this because it just, you get excited talking about it. But in my head, then it's like when you're like, yeah, Kenny Omega come 30. I'm just picturing myself being like, yeah, we'd be sitting on the couch, and then it'd be like 28 and 29, and everybody be lit, being like, it's
Oh,
Kenny,
man.
and then Roman's music would hit and blow out the whole place. The
Yeah.
half the arena would leave, 3/4 of the arena would leave. Oh man, and then the product would be dead.
Yeah.
That's what's
Could
gonna
you imagine
happen.
if someone? I want someone to eliminate Roman Reigns from the Royal Rumble.
Oh.
Fucking go.
Oh man.
I want someone to eliminate Roman Reigns, just see what happens.
Apollo-
I want Aiden English to just go for it.
I want Apollo Crews to just do it.
Who should eliminate Roman Reigns from the Royal Rumble next year?
You'd be a made man. Like you'd
You'd
be
force creative saying, because that's why
Oh.
Punk didn't leave the. That's why Punk didn't leave the 2014 Royal Rumble. He was like, no. He Iron Manned it, and they had like he's like I'm concussed.
Yeah.
And the docs were like, oh, that's shitty. And he's like, fuck you. And then, because they were like, okay, eliminate yourself or roll into the ring. And he's like, no, fuck you, I'm staying in. Because Punk wanted to prove to Brass that he deserved to be main event at WrestleMania. And so they sent Kane out to eliminate him.
And slammed him through the table.
Yep.
Yikes. On that disappointing bombshell.
Anyway, no. Punk won.
Yeah.
Punk won in the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I
Did
have
he-
Okada.
did he
I have
ever?
Okada winning.
Yeah.
Because he's the guy.
And I think,
He's the guy.
I want Omega to win because I want all my fantasy booking to come true, and I want us all just to, someone else has to come along and save WWE from himself, and it's got to be Kenny. It's got to be, please.
We all thought it was going to be AJ, and
Well,
he's now
he-
about to do Styles Nakamura 4.
That means
No ball
with
standing.
means absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Because the heat's
Yeah.
gone. Because they managed to absolutely quell the heat, which is just incredible work.
Yeah.
Two of the greatest sports entertainment athletes on the planet, and they managed to absolutely just bury them themselves in a feud that's just the two of them.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. What we have to look forward to, Dominion, June 9th, 2018, 2 days away. That's what we have to look forward to. I think that may do it for us. I don't know if there's anything more to add.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I please make sure you go into the video description and join our Discord. Talk about New Japan with us. Talk about WWE with us. Talk about anything with us. We're itching to have you. Come on by. Take a seat. We're itching to have you. Just come on in. Follow us on Twitter.
Yep.
NeverOver Live.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/NeverOver, and make sure to go follow
Twitch.
us on twitch.tv/NeverOverLive.
Yeah.
Follow us there.
It's gonna do it for me. I don't know about you losers, but
Wow.
I said
No
it.
respect for your
We're all
champion.
thinking it. Fuck off, Brad.
Oh man.
Who
All
vacant.
right.
It's vacant. It's vacant until fucking Money in the
who's got the
Bank.
belt?
You're nothing.
Who's got the belt? I got the belt.
Nobody has the belt. It's been vacated, Brad. Sit down.
I did not. I didn't
Brad,
agree to that.
If
All
you did
right.
anything to that belt, if you did anything Paige sex tape related to that belt, I'm gonna fucking knock you out real life, hard
man.
style, shoot
Oh
style.
my
Okay.
goodness.
That's going to do it for us. This has been the Never Over podcast number 2 for June 7th, 2018. We covered Dominion. Dominion is 2 days away, Saturday, June 9th, 2018. Make sure to follow us, and we will catch you guys next week.